Alrighty, are we live yet? Sound check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Now I scheduled this stream for 12:15, but I clicked on the start button a little bit early, and we're gonna do a little something of an experiment today. Not so much an experiment as I want to make it a quick stream, although a friend of mine pointed out to me last time I said it would be a quick stream, it ended up being like a long stream. It was like 2 or 3 hours. So it's kind of like a certain irony to that. But first I'm going to clean my balls. My ball. And then we're going to do something fun. We're going to do an activity. Well, it's not so much an activity, but I am going to set up something today. Hey, I just noticed I didn't have Google Chrome. Ah, here we go. I found Google Chrome. I was informed about a website that makes counterfeit Hyaku Shikis. Hey, what up, Salty? So I'm going to read the chat aloud because we're going to be setting something up to help us with the chat in the future. And as a result, instead of me putting the chat on screen right now, we're going to make it so that I never have to work on that again. Hey, wow, we got a good crowd right here. Out of the starting gate, we got LCX, which I believe, aren't you doing a Final Fantasy 8 or 7 reading tomorrow, where you're gonna have a group of cast members reading aloud, the text at the bottom of the screen. I know Aris invited me, but I also didn't watch that stream from like Tuesday or Monday or whatever day it was. I do plan on rewatching that stream so that if I wake up on time and you guys still need an extra person, I could potentially avail myself. But I didn't want to commit myself in case you already, filled in all your spots and in case I don't wake up on time and yada, yada, yada. But yes, I believe there is going to be a fun thing planned on Ella's channel tomorrow. So y'all might want to check that out. I'll even give you guys the link to the live stream tab on Ella's channel so that, when Ella schedules that stream, it'll pop up over there. But if you're already subscribed and you click bell, then you would be notified. Clean balls. Yes, clean balls are really important. I remember this one time, I was riding my bike to this girl's house. And, I was getting lucky that day. It was really good, but I mentioned to my friend I'm riding my bike, and my balls might get sweaty, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you gotta wash your balls," or something like that. I forgot what he said, but basically it was just general thing of keep your balls clean, so that you're prepared when you're visiting a lucky lady who you're gonna get lucky with, so to speak, right? Of course, some people say they don't believe in luck, but anywho, let's focus here. So Linux, low spec Linux game. And what up, James? I'm sorry, I didn't say hi, James. Did I say hi, James? Increasing misnamed streams. I named the stream correct. Did I name it correctly? I believe I named it correctly. Let's take a look. Surely it has the correct date on it. Fuck! That is bullshit. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's last week's stream. This one is correct. It says 7-Eleven. The thumbnail is correct. The name of the stream. This is the correct name. I don't know what you're talking about. This is the correct name. This is the Monday show on Thursday, 7-11-2025. Today's date is the 11th. Unless you're in California like Lady Mist, today is the 11th. I was pretty darn careful about that, James. Like Hitchhiker's Trilogy. Oh, I see. It's Friday. It's accurate for the UK and East Coast, but 2.85 hours early in the West Coast. Well, guess what? I'm East Coast centric over here. Okay, it is New York, and as you know, us New Yorkers think we have the most important city in the world, even though it's a crowded and dirty city. But jokes aside, I was torn. When this stream started, I was extremely torn, deciding which way to go. But I was just looking at one of the thumbnails on El's stream, the Nikkei stream. That shit's hilarious. I love your Nikkei thumbnail. You got these wide-hipped fighter girls, and then you got the Nagi L Miku combination character. That's funny, man. Okay, I'm sorry. And what up, Game Gear Goddess? Speaking of 7-Eleven, they sell pretty good food. Yo, they do. I am envious of the 7-Eleven in the Philippines. You guys sell onigiri. Our 7-Eleven does not sell onigiri. I was thinking about writing a letter to the local 7-Eleven to, you know, maybe get them to sell onigiri. I think that would be really cool. But what I wanted to pull up today was something educational for us today. That's right. I have something educational. So let me turn on my camera. Oh! I'm big. That's what she said. I cropped myself. I cropped my pants. No, but today we're gonna learn, you know, as Japanese anime fans, I think it's important that we learn some Japanese language phrases, right? Are we all Japanese anime fans? I think we are. Anime or anime? Well, I don't care. I mean, I do care, but only insofar as it matters to Japanese people. But since we don't have any Japanese people here today, I can say whatever I want. But in all seriousness, I lost the chat window. So first things first, I need to find the chat window. Seriously, I don't know where it is. Oops, I clicked on a stream on that channel. Where's my chat window? Alright, stream's over. I can't find a chat window, so... Oh, here it is. I'll put it over here. The 11th is Friday. Well, yeah, but see, that's why I was torn, James. I was torn because, like, on one angle, it's the Monday show on Thursday, and I'm not prepared to commit to renaming the show. And since we aim at starting on Thursday, I decided we just call the Monday show on Thursday. But that being said, yes, it's not lost upon me, James. It isn't lost upon me at all that, you know, so I basically was meeting the West Coast halfway. We're meeting the West Coast halfway, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, actually, I do have something special here. I'm glad California Ford 44 mentioned the turtles today. Because we got the turtles! Oh, look at that! Look at Puffy! Look at Puffy! Look at that! Look at it! So we got turtle cam. We got turtle cam. Now, it's almost good. Almost good. We do have some issues with the turtle cam. It's basically that the camera has its own night vision config. I'm gonna log into the back. I'm gonna log into the camera directly right now to show you what I'm talking about. And it's a little like vague on how it does it. It fails. Oh yes, my browser. It does actually get audio. I can actually turn on audio on the web browser window, and it works. So you got day night. You got light settings. Oh, excuse me. And we got infrared mode, and in theory it can switch between, you know, day and night on its own. I find that the sensitivity has some impact on that, but when I put on high sensitivity mode, it freaking like switches between day and night mode on its own. So my best bet is to just put a manual timer on it. Excuse me. But, you know, in the daytime, we don't want night vision on because we want to see it in color, right? But at nighttime, when you turn on night vision, in order for the sensor to be night vision sensitive, it does show up in black and white. Now, there's also a few other settings here. I forgot where the setting is. Okay, I can do manual brightness control. Look at my little Squirtle girl. Oh, hey Squirtle, how you doing, darling? Look at her. Okay, I'm gonna put the other browser window on the other monitor while I make adjustments to the brightness so that we can make it a little more easier to see. Is she looking at the camera? Does she know we're looking at her? I hope the white light isn't on. Okay, there we go. I lowered the exposure compensation by a few stops. I do like the idea of seeing under the water, so I have an idea. I was thinking about putting like a piece of electric tape or something over the front of the infrared light, which is a very dim red LED. In order to cast a shadow on this part of the screen here. But yeah, Turtle Cam needed to compete with Koi Cam. Some obscure guy from Texas. Like some... Oh, that's interesting. Is that obscure guy from Texas who has a Koi Cam. Well, you know, I'm going to clean up the side of the room over here. So that it looks a little neater. I'm going to play with the angle. But it looks like I can get the whole tank. From one angle. I was a little worried that... For a while, I was having... Like, this is not the optimal camera angle. But I think I'm going to hang the camera from the ceiling. By my own company to do what? It's accurate. Oh, yeah. So I was reading past the chats. Yeah, so for the West Coast, that's why it's called the Monday Show on Thursday. For you on the West Coast, we're calling it the Monday Show on Thursday, California 444. For those of us on the East Coast or wherever else, today we have the correct date, but the wrong day of the week. So I'm kind of meeting everyone halfway here. Get a Vossman reference. Now, we could do full screen on the browser. We can do F11, and I don't know how I hide the left panel here. This is an application I use called Blue Iris, and it's basically like a DVR application. I run it on my astronomy PC. So if we go back to these events here, you can see one. I'm talking to my turtles. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear the audio on that. I'm going to listen to the audio, make sure I'm not saying anything recriminating. What? Oh my god. The audio is disastrous here, but I'm going to play it for you guys anyway. Alright, this is going to be bad, alright? It's going to be pretty loud. Prepare your ears.
They're simply there to hold your tank together, honey. You gotta not eat the zip ties. Capiche? Capiche? There you go, baby. Is the angle of that light correct? You want me to angle it a little better?
Yeah, so, I think it's actually a video of me putting a new light bulb in. Let's see if we can find it.
We're gonna give you the sun right now. Just like George Harrison.
Oh yeah, we got a video of me putting a new light bulb in. What am I singing? What song was I singing? Wait, I remember singing a song and... I'm checking the audio every time I play a clip. I'm not playing the clip for you. I'm not playing the clip for you guys until I check the audio each time.
Also, we're gonna hopefully maybe if I get you a light bulb, the night vision will work again. You know, I mean, the night vision.
That audio sucks. I think I doubled the gain on it. Yeah, I'm checking the audio every time. Oh, look at Puffy's talking to his sister. You can see. So this is the problem. It's daytime. The night vision shouldn't be on during the daytime. Oh, look at Puffy's climbing. Climb, 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 girl, climb. I'm gonna turn off the audio if there's no speaking. Actually, wait. Can we hear? You can actually hear my server in the background. That's what that noise is. That's my server. Yeah, that gain is hard. I agree, Slim Nim. No argument from me on that. I could fix it. I gotta just go into the settings and lower it. But that gain is hard, isn't it? We got 3D printer filament on the floor in the corner there. I gotta clean that up. But, you know, so it stores motion capture events, or I guess motion detection events. Mancheri Amor, in the style of Stevie Wonder. What is it, like, Mancheri Amor? I don't know. I'm not very Stevie Wonderish. No wonder the turtles couldn't understand you. They've got that fan in their ears all the time. Dude, their ears are inside their head. And they aren't very good at hearing high frequencies. They're better at hearing, No, why would I vent? Where am I going to vent the server to? Oh, the 3D printer. No, I don't need to vent the 3D printer. I only need to vent the 3D printer if I'm printing on using ABS filament slim, which I bought ABS filament, but I'm not using it until I vent it. So yeah, if I was going to print using SLA, ASA, or ABS, yeah, I would absolutely vent it. Absolutely. Or I would trap it in a tent and then vent it after I'm done printing. Because when you're printing with, when you're printing using, what's that shit called? ABS, it's very temperature sensitive. Like, you'll get warping from any temperature gradient. Because you gotta think about it, like, a room is gonna have a varying temperature from the floor of the room or whatever to the ceiling. So either you gotta put your printer way up near the ceiling, or you need to trap all of the heat in the tent so that you have a uniform temperature. There's actually a person who visits the chat sometimes who said that to me last week, and I agree with him. Oh, and Stone... Oh, that's cool. Stone Loki did a review of Superman. We'll post that link in a little while. So anyway, let's see. What else we got? Let's just keep going through the clips here. All right. So see, look, this is what you have when the night vision doesn't turn on automatically. It's color, but what color can you see? Oh, the night vision turned on its own, possibly without any human intervention. So that's progress, but I need this to work like automatically each and every time. It was a big hit. Even Eddie Murphy did it on SNL way back when SNL didn't suck. Ha! And Slim Nim says he remembers that bit and it's funny. I wasn't planning on showing you the turtle cam, but oh, this is great. Okay, we're gonna put the audio on here for this. Hey, I got a little issue here. There is a bit of a delay with the audio, so I bet you if I download the video clip, it would be in sync. But I really want the audio to be in sync. Now, I don't know if that means I have to have a delay in the video to get the audio to sync up or what. But I would love to hear that sound hit at the same time. When the turtle falls down, I want to hear the boom on time. You can hear it, and you can tell it happens a little bit late. But yeah, that's Poffy. She fell off at dock. Yeah, I turned those on separately, as a matter of fact. They weren't on originally, but I turned... Oh, look at Squirtle climbing on a dock. Look, see, look. I'm so proud of her. They're so, you know, their brains are so underdeveloped that when they do the simplest thing, I'm very proud of them. But jokes aside, it's just interesting to see them doing their thing, to be honest. It's not like I think they're stupid. I mean, they're smarter than fish. It's so funny watching Poffy fall. See, look, Squirtle's climbing up. I put a new light bulb in today, so she originally only had a halogen light. Now she has a halogen and a self-ballasted mercury vapor. Well, that's the thing. I'm using an Amcrest camera. It's an IP camera. So I would think an IP camera would be a little more cooperative. I would think an IP camera would properly sync up the audio. You know what I mean? So anyway, the motion boxes on this camera are part of the software. They're not part of the camera. They're part of Blue Iris, which is the software I'm using right now. This is Blue Iris runs both as an application on my backyard PC and as a server web-based application. Oh, look at them talking to each other there. They're like, hey neighbor. Hello neighbor. Now, if only a rat would teach them martial arts. My biggest fear is that a mouse will fall into the tank if a mouse ever got in, and they would eat it, and the mouse would eat. You know, I'm more worried about like a poison mice. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So anyway, today we're gonna learn Japanese. Because I think as Japanese anime fans, we should learn Japanese. You know, I think it's just really important. So, hey, what up, awesome one? Turtle Power, the late early show. That's another thing. I was thinking about calling it the late night show because I've been noticing. I used to aim for 11:45, and it just progressively starts later. One of these days we'll get it on track. But as you see, we start closer to midnight today. It'll be set soon, awesome one. Soon, but not by definition of... Anyway, hey, look, we got the fucking batteries, right? So that's progress. And screwdrivers. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't know that Jap was a slur. I really didn't. I thought that, oh, let me crop the camera. I got like my water bottle and junk there. There we go. Make it look a little neater there. So you don't have to clean the room. You just got to move the frame over. See, I keep a cleaner space than Osmongold, at least. So anyway, yeah, so when I was a kid, I used to hear the term Japanimation, like Japanimation. So like, you know, it's like just the word Japan and animation combined together. But obviously the word animation is one self-contained word. So I thought it was Jap animation. So I figured that if the word Jap animation was okay, then the word Jap would be okay too, right? And then I watched the movie Pearl Harbor, and in the movie Pearl Harbor, the guy said, "Those Jap suckers," and that was because, you know, Pearl Harbor is a Disney film, so, you know, they don't want to say cocksuckers. And who knows if people said the word cocksuckers during World War II. But they probably did. Oh shit, is that a Gundam part? No, that's a piece of masking tape painted in metallic green. I thought it was a Gundam part. I threw that out. The number one headband. You gonna unbrick a Switch 2 and put Game Boy on it? I'm going to, I'm waiting to find out. At some point, when Nintendo stops supporting the Switch 1, I'll jailbreak my Switch 1 and make it, you know, my own, right? You know, make it, you know, a proper soft mod or whatever the heck you do to a Nintendo Switch to make it, you know, illicit. And as for the Switch 2, look, I wouldn't have a problem with, like, you know, digital downloads of games on their own. But that sort of thing just motivates people. One, obviously, there's no point in buying a cartridge for the Switch 2 anymore. At least on the first Switch, the cartridge represents a copy of the game before updates, which may or may not be desirable, but it can be very desirable at times. As for the Switch 2, it's just basically it's a product key on the cartridge, so why even bother with the cartridge? I mean, ever since I misplaced my fucking cartridges, I can't play like a big chunk of my library. Actually, I probably own more games on the digital library than the physical library, but my favorite game is Mario Maker 2. Well, one of my favorite games. And so, you know, like, I really want to find my misplaced cartridges so I can play Mario Maker 2. And play Mario Kart with my friends. And so on and so forth. Because I tried playing Final Fantasy on the Switch. It was a little disappointing. I don't know why that game was a big deal many years ago. I mean, jokes aside, I see other people play it, and it seems like they have a lot more fun with it. They play it, they enjoy it. Hey, what's up, Courtney? It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. So, I didn't put the chat on screen. Oh, God, why am I cropped? How did that happen? No, seriously, I have no idea why I'm cropped. Did I do that? Like in the Steve Urkel sense? Did I do that? But it is wonderful to see you, Courtney's Fellowship of... It's good to see Courtney, though. Courtney's a cool cat. We all love Courtney. She's a cool cat. There we go. Just gonna expand my little boxes here. First time I saw Courtney was on Baron Orman Tag's channel. And ever since then, the rest is history. Courtney knows all of the cool kids here. All right, good. I just wanted to put these boxes so you could block out my used beverage can. But you can see how I can, like, you know, still show you as much of my arms as possible so you guys can see some skin. You know, because I know that's what you pay for. Hey, what up, Fabric Folds? Speaking of skin, we got Fabric Folds in the chat. You know, I was going to set up Social Stream Ninja, but I feel like that would be really boring. So instead of doing that, let me just put the chat on screen. But of course, if I put the YouTube chat on screen, then Low Spec Linux Gaming is going to show up in the Rumble chat and be like, you didn't set up the Rumble chat. Which he would have a point. What is the title of that window? I was going to click on random boxes until one of them shows up. Okay, good. We got that one. Oh, good. We got the YouTube chat. Very good. So now we should have a chat window here, here, but it's not over here, is it? All right, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that was like 4 years ago, right? Yeah, that's like the first. That might be one of the first times I tuned into Baron. Maybe. I think I tuned into Baron because you were on Baron's show. And then, you know, Baron is a homeboy of my friend Pacific 414, with amazing scenes like Kefka poisoning Donna's river with a cup of poison. What movie are we talking about? Hey, what's up with the lovely Sherry? It is lovely to see you, lovely Sherry. Hey, that's a different thumbnail. That has your face on it. And you know, us men don't want to see the face. But jokes aside, you do have a lovely thumbnail, and it's good to see you, the lovely Sherry. My theory is no one wants new games, so game makers are about, Awesome One says, so game makers are about to go under, so they're forcing a subscription to play old games to stop from going out of business. I mean, it's a factor. Like, that's the thing about it. Okay, I gotta take this off screen when I'm talking about other topics. I don't want people to think like I'm just emphasizing the Jap language, useful phrases. Although I do want to react to this video. I really do. It's good. We're stalling for time, so I can end the show on time or early, right? Okay. But jokes aside, yeah, Mike is a cool cat, and Courtney's right. Sherry is beautiful. I'm beautiful too. Although I have a little zit over here, and I can't touch it because I learned when you get a zit, the more you touch it, the longer it takes to heal. But at the same time, you got to strike a balance between when it turns into pus and when it can be touched, right? But there's that sweet spot, that window of time. Just being silly, Ronnie. I love poking fun at old games that are put on a pedestal. Ah, yeah. Oh, we were talking about Final Fantasy, weren't we? I just want to know what game we were talking about. I did not know Kefka. I don't even know who Kefka is. I guess it's a Final Fantasy VII character. I met Urkel in middle school. You met Urkel? That is so cool. And I did make a Steve Urkel reference earlier. I did do that. Did I do that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I miss that show too. I still got to catch up on season 7. So I stopped watching Family Matters after episode 1 of season 7 because I was so... Oh, Final Fantasy 6. Right, the greatest game ever, right? Didn't you like start playing that game today, L? Or your friend L, Game Gear Goddess, was playing Final Fantasy 7 today because it is one of the greatest games. I thought for a moment that L's tone was steeped in sarcasm while, you know, given the introduction to the game. But I'm sure that was just my imagination, you know? I'm sure that was just me projecting what little I know about the game. And clearly, I don't know a lot about the game, right? I really don't. When you get a whitehead on a pimple, then you know it's ready to pop. Yeah, so I figure, like, when you get a slight whitehead, you give it a little time to grow, just a little bit, and you give it a chance. But if you don't have any whitehead, and Slim Nim is absolutely right. Absolutely right. If you don't get a whitehead and you try to, like, you know, like mangle that thing and destroy it, yeah. So, nah, I am, says Game Gear Goddess. Okay, so maybe it is a good game. Game companies make new games, says Fabric Phones, that stink worse than rhubarbs behind, and then blame their customers because they won't consume the current thing. Yeah, that's a factor. They should have totally done a remake of Final Fantasy VI as opposed to a remake of Final Fantasy VII. I don't know the difference. I honestly don't know the difference. Well, I think I know the difference. I saw an adult with a lot of pimples, and I was surprised. Yeah, it is a joke on Family Guy, where they're at a restaurant, and one of the bus boys or waiters has like a bunch of acne, and Stewie Griffin gives him hell for it. He's like, "Oh, you're 30 years old and you got acne," and he's basically telling him like that's like a big no-no or like something like that. And in fairness, you do have to strike a balance between, you know, facial hygiene, right? Wash your face, disinfect. Don't be a grease ball like me. Or if you are a grease ball, make sure you rinse off the grease. Okay, why am I cleaning my desk right now? I'm sorry. I just saw a pile of shit over there. I wanted to move it over. But you get the idea. See, so Slim Nim says they should have totally done a remake of FF6 as opposed to Final Fantasy VII. And I think when I bought it on Switch, I bought it right before the stupid remake. So I ended up getting a carbon copy of the old one, which might be why I was superbly disappointed. And then they came out with a pixel remaster or whatever the hell they call it. I mean, I don't know the difference. I'm very not versed in Final Fantasy. In theory, it's a great game. It seems like a very good game. It's just, you know, I guess, like, you know, I like games where you don't have to read as much, or at least when I was younger, I was more accustomed to games where you don't read as much. The first game of that type I ever played was Pokemon. You know, I had Pokemon Red, I had Pokemon Yellow, and I bootlegged Pokemon Green at one point. Over a deep fryer may be a contributing factor for acne. I don't work over a deep fryer, luckily, but the guy at the restaurant might. Does rhubarb grow over there? Fabric phones. Ew, growing on fabric phones, that's awful. That's true. If you work over a deep fry, it might stink like a deep fry. So anyway, let's go and learn some Japanese today. Alright. Jap language useful phrases. Let's roll.
How strong he is in the Marshall Islands and
I'm sure this won't be remotely problematic. Slim Nim says he worked over a deep fryer for years and it was no problem. Don't put your face over the grease. No problem. Okay, that's a start. Plus, I mean, if you get grease on your face, just wipe that shit off, right? Maybe get some hot water, wash once in a while, right? But I get what you're saying, Slim Nim.
As everyone knows, good shooting has always been an American heritage. Wow!
I love these cartoon characters from these bomber pilot gunner films. They could be a real treat. Don't even have Final Fantasy VII Remake. Looks awesome though. I'd love to play it. Yeah, I definitely must have bought the wrong one because the one I bought did not impress me at freaking all. Like, I got up to the train and I was like, what is this shit? It looks like a PNG or like a JPEG over here and a 3D model next to it. I'm like, it's a picture and a 3D model, and it didn't look like it, you know, belonged together. Although I'd imagine on a CRT, maybe it looked normal, you know? My problem with the remake, says Game Gear Goddess, my problem with the remake is that the story is unfinished. I did not, wait, was it finished in the original? It follows the live service design methodology. Oh, I see. I can see where that goes. And that's the thing. So, like, when people get all upset that, like, they play emulated games online and how, you know, the company's like, and, you know, like, the companies want to, like, you know, give people shit for it. They want to, you know, say, oh, you can't stream it. Or more importantly, just the general idea that, like, they don't make the games available to purchase, and yet they don't want you downloading the games as emulatable copies of the games per se. And I can imagine, like, on one angle, Nintendo owns the intellectual property on games that are 35 years old. And so they both have the right and the obligation to protect their IP. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily in favor of it, but because at the same time, IP law is also used to kind of exclude people from accessing these things sometimes, especially if it's a game that maybe, you know, modern woke generations don't like. It's a very easy way. It can be used as a form of book burning, you know? But more importantly, it's just the fact that by, you know, they're making a big deal about you playing the game on your own terms, it gives them an opportunity to sell you their version of the re-release of the game. I mean, how expensive is it for Nintendo to, what do they call a virtual console on the Nintendo Switch? You know, where you play old games on a Nintendo Switch. They can say, oh, for like, you know, they basically offer you the Nintendo Switch, what is the fancy membership? You know, you got the basic one, where you can play games online, and you can download levels for Super Mario Maker. I found that out the hard way, so I was already paying for Nintendo Switch Online, so I did not know that when that membership lapsed, that I no longer could download levels for Super Mario Maker. So that's another reason for me to, when they stop supporting the Nintendo Switch, my high priorities will be to make sure that every game I've digitally purchased, I have a copy of it on my machine, whether that means making a backup of a copy of what I already bought, or downloading a bootleg, or both. I mean, at that point, once you can make a backup copy of your own games, you might as well go and download bootlegs of every other game for the Switch, right? Why not have a massive library? Just like my Nintendo Wii, which has like 300 GameCube games on it. But my big issue was, in particular, let me just double check something here. But, you know, so anyway, so you get a physical copy of the game. That's something. But, you know, today when you buy a game, you're getting a product key, right? You're getting a product key. That's kind of annoying. Pardon me, I just need to blow my nose. Okay. So anyway. I just want to read this chat here a little. So James says, feck Nintendo and feck Switch 2 in particular. I mean, like, I'm mixed on it. Like, I want the Nintendo Switch 2 to rock. I don't know if it does. I mean, like, there's some things I like about it visually, but it seems like one of those marginal upgrades on the hardware. So the price is going to have to come down quite a bit before I'm interested. On that note, I'd follow it. It would follow that a modern Final Fantasy VI remake would follow the same design decisions. They wanted to make it more accessible to new fans by using a familiar interface for modern games, or for modern gamers, says Game Gear Goddess. Not only unfinished, my major problem, says Slimnim, with the remake is that it is not based on the original. They are trying to turn all of the turn-based stuff into an action-based game. Oh, now that sounds like something I might like. I could use a little action, because that's another thing. I'm kidding. But I'd have to... I guess I could picture myself, like, jumping onto Final Fantasy VI in a vacuum and enjoying it, and then playing the original and being like, hey, this is different, you know? But in fairness, it's not an accurate representation of the original if you're going to make massive changes. Holy crap, it's 10:50. Good night, all, says... It's 10:50? It's fucking 12:52 over here in New York. Well, I'm out of here. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so while while Fabric Folds is leaving, everyone say goodnight to Fabric Folds. I want to show you something. Someone gave me a bag of Lucky Charms marshmallows without the cereal. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Like, this is terrible for kids today. See? That's just the marshmallows. How wild is that? Okay, so anyway, getting back on topic. Yeah, interface-wise, Final Fantasy VII plays like a typical 3D action game. Apparently, and then from there, that's Game Gear Goddess. Pong with guns, says awesome one. Oh, I do like my I do have to plug in my Nintendo since I got a power adapter for my Nintendo wedged under a web of cables under my desk. And when I unweb it, I'm gonna plug in my Nintendo. I'm gonna plug in my Zapper. Well, no, the Zapper's gonna be useless. I forgot. I'm gonna plug in my NES Advantage, and we're gonna play Top Gun, because the NES Advantage. Who remembers Ghostbusters 2? Yeah, I got one. It's ready to roll. As soon as I get the power adapter ready and I find a way to correctly connect my Nintendo to the thing. Because I think Top Gun is supposed to be played with a joystick, right? You know? And I always wonder why they make it so easy to remove this, but I guess it's not really an issue. I guess it makes it easier to clean it, or I guess when you assemble it, you could, like, you know, remove the stick in there. I guess it just made it easier for the kids in the factories, or the men and women in the factories. But I always noticed that it's not a big deal. I can put a little Loctite on it. But so basically, normally turbo buttons don't have knobs on them, right? Or you might not be accustomed to seeing the knobs. But essentially, when you use the turbo button on this, assuming that the knob is at the full speed setting, so you got like a knob that you can turn like this. When you press a button and you hold it down, you'll see these LEDs blink rapidly. And that tells you that it's automatically doing. If you lower the knob and then you press the button, the light will blink more slowly. So it's essentially like tap, 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 tap. So now in the game Top Gun, when you're landing on the carrier, they say increase your speed. You're either pressing A or B. So when you press A, okay, you'll see the number go up a little bit. You tap again, the number goes up. And you basically can't hold it down. Normally on a regular gamepad, you got to go, like on a regular gamepad, if you go and you hold down the button, nothing happens. So you got to do like tap, tap. You got to do tap, 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 speed up. And if it says speed down, you go tap, 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 speed down to slow it down. But on this, you don't have to keep tapping it. You just hold it down and you'll see the numbers on a segmented display. Like, you know, you'll see the dashboard or the cockpit or the instrument panel on the plane in Top Gun. And you'll actually see the numbers go up as you hold the button down. And then if you exceed the speed at which you're supposed to go, well, you can always do the reverse. And if the numbers are moving too quickly, you can turn the knob. So essentially, while you're increasing your speed, holding down the A button, let's say, you can also reduce or increase the rate at which that speed changes by simply turning this knob. So it's pretty damned cool, in my opinion. I really, really do like the NES Advantage for that reason. Who remembers the NES U? What is that? Is that like the Wii U? I have a Wii U. I've got a Wii U controller over there. It's the size of a fucking Steam Deck. Which reminds me, I better plug my Wii U controller into a charger soon so that I can top off the battery on that, huh? I mean, make sure the battery doesn't, like, you know, go bad. It's the Lucky Charms Marshmallows only. Yeah, it's Lucky Charms Marshmallows only. Although it says special edition, so I don't know if that means the marshmallows are special edition 2025 or if the limited edition. And yes, the transparent ones are green. You know, you see how like my background shows up on the green one, the leprechaun? Yeah. The leprechaun hat? Yeah, that's because it's green. So I don't know if the marshmallows are... Oh, yeah, your birthday's on the 22nd. That's so far in the future that I could easily make that commitment and not feel bad about it until I realize the day before that, oh shit, I got it. Oh shit, it's Tuesday. What time is it? Oh, wait, I could probably take the day off from work. I would love to take the day off for work for your birthday. Yo, Wade, remind me like sometime between now and Sunday. In all seriousness, I want to remember for Sunday because I will put in for a day off from work for that day. I will still take the fucking day off from work. Don't tell my boss it's 8 p.m. I'll take the day off from work anyway. Plus, I get home from work at like, I get home from work at 9 p.m. of that day. So, oh yeah, I am in the group. But maybe I can just take the day off from work that day. Or maybe I schedule to get off work early that day. Although I do kind of like the idea of taking the whole day off from work instead of just, you know what I mean? Like, I think I should take the whole day off from work. What do you think, right? That sounds more fun. But either way, I'll work it out. I think I'd come through. I don't see why not. I think it'd be a good time. I think it's going to be a great time. You guys should all go to Wade's birthday party or participate in the chat or something. Bad proofreader, James. Oh, neat. That should satisfy the sweet tooth. Yes, L had Game Gear Goddess had a Famicom because only us Americans had a Nintendo Entertainment System, which looks like a VCR. Everyone else in the Pacific Rim had a top-loading console called a family computer. That's the same thing. It's just that I think they had like fewer issues. So in the US, when you put a Famicom, a Nintendo game into an NES, and it didn't work, we blew on it thinking, oh, you got to blow on it to clean the dust out. And sometimes it would work, but it probably worked for the wrong reason, right? You're blowing on a Nintendo cartridge. You're probably getting moisture on the contacts, creating a temporarily better electrical connection, but probably contributing to long-term oxidation. Now, that said, you can clean it. The cartridges would tell you, thank you, Wade. The cartridges would tell you never use alcohol, but alcohol seemed to be the best stuff to use on the fucking cartridge. Like, it worked every time. Now, maybe they meant don't use 70% isopropyl alcohol, because I figure that if you use 99% isopropyl, you're not going to have any water in there, so maybe it would cause fewer problems. Gray Famicom with orange turbo buttons. Oh, yeah, turbo buttons? Obviously cloned, but worked better than the real thing. Yep, I could imagine. I bet you the freaking clone worked better than the real deal. You know why Nintendo made the Famicom red? It was the cheapest plastic they could procure. So that was the only reason they made that decision, from what I understand. It was because they knew they could procure that plastic for really cheap. So they're like, that's all they needed to know. It's like, oh, well, we get the plastic for cheap, so we'll get it in red. Which is absolutely hilarious. Although it makes sense from a business standpoint. They also used a CPU that came from a Ricoh copy machine. I believe it was Ricoh. Yeah, Ricoh, not Minolta, Ricoh. And that was why. That's how they ended up with the 1.77 megahertz CPU on a Famicom. And Slim says, so yeah, real quick, Real Wade Nation says, Real Wade Nation gaming clips. Yo, bro, get a link tree. Now, jokes aside, I think you could, because you have a link tree, you can put your Throne Me. You can put all 4 of your YouTube channels. You can put your OnlyFans up there. And then when you want to share your link on the Twitter sphere, you'll be able to get the link from somewhere very easily. Just an idea. I don't know. I mean, you do what works for you, of course. Don't take my recommendation, but oh, you do have one. Okay, good. In that case, I don't need to tell you to get one because you already have one. As long as you have one. Okay. So I got the link there. Thank you, Wade. Slim Nim says, I had so many ripped off stuff that worked better than the real thing as far as video game controllers. It's a mixed bag for me. But yeah, generally speaking. So anyway, let's go and watch this educational video before we prepare to wrap up here.
Trigger Joe scores again! I should be an aerial gunner. Gee, it must be fun to be an aerial gunner.
It must be fun. Oh shit, he's been drafted.
And everyone knows that the B-29 with its remote-controlled turret system is the dream of every gunner.
Yeah, so about that, the B-29 did have a pretty cool system. It was a little intricate. They had like a mechanical computer system of sorts. So each of the main guns or various guns would have like a box that was like, I think, 200 or 300 pounds of equipment, and had a combination of relays, switches, and gears. And some other content creator on YouTube did a very good video on like explaining this and using some of the source material, the maintenance manuals and stuff like that. But the gist of it is, in theory, if you have a B-29, you have a gunner here. Let's say you have a gunner here. You got a gun here, and you got a gun over here. So the idea was that normally when you point your guns at, say, this mountain, you want to hit this spot here. This gun would point at the mountain here, but this gun would either be independently controlled by another gunner, and yeah, in theory, they could point at the mountain. But what if you had nobody at this gun? In theory, you could link the two guns together or slave them together so that when you aim this gun at this side of the mountain right here, let's say, the other gun will converge on that target. And things of that nature. And different guns can be slaved to one another, and, you know, there's different ways to operate it. If the targeting computer did not work correctly, you can then instead, you know, put it into a bypass mode and manually operate it. Now, early B-29s, as I read about, you know, like I read a book by a man named John Toland about the rise and fall of Imperial Japan. And it was talking about, you know, when we had B-29 stationed in China relatively early in the war, and they had a lot of technical problems. They did, like, even like when we started like flying, like when we took over the island of Saipan, which was the first major battle where we encountered Japanese civilians. It's one of the reasons why we saw in the movie Letters from Iwo Jima. There's a scene where General Kiribayashi was like looking at the families. He goes, "Oh, evacuate the families right away," because he knew like how shit went down in Saipan, and he didn't want the same shit to go down per se. Although families who surrendered to us in Saipan had a good go of it. You know what I mean? Like they were like, "Oh shit, you're giving us hot water and a shower and good food," but a lot of people jumped off the suicide cliffs in Saipan. That's literally, they literally have these cliffs in the island of Saipan called the Suicide Cliffs. Hey, look at that. I did not self-censor. I should have said Sudoku Cliffs, but fuck that. I hate self-censorship when it comes to YouTube. Anyway, part of my language. But it's an important part of the history there. You know, back then people thought, you know, it was going to get ugly if they surrendered or got picked up by, you know, our soldiers. And I remember stories where like a tall 6-foot red-haired giant with no shirt on shows up, and the people were kind of scared, but the guy was actually a gentle giant. The lady wouldn't drink the water, so the guy takes the water, drinks the water. Did YouTube freeze? Ah, shit. Let me guess. I'm copywritten. Did I get copyright? I got, where's my YouTube studio? For a stream, I do have one. YouTube froze says awesome one. I'm looking for, where did I put the YouTube studio? I'm not frozen. Okay, it's just awesome one. Okay, thank God. I'm glad it's just awesome one. I mean, I'm sorry you're frozen. As long as I'm not frozen. Wait, so can awesome one hear me? I'm just double checking. I want to make sure I'm live. Wait, what? Okay. Oh, wait. Also, I just realized something. Okay, good. I thought I was still running the video. Okay, we're good. Okay, good. Okay, good thing it's just awesome one. No, because it's bad that it's awesome one. Okay, so where was I? Bottom line is, one of the reasons it was important that we took the island of Saipan and subsequently the island of Iwo Jima, and how did taking Iwo Jima save lives? Because Iwo Jima was also, I think the word Iwo Jima means sulfur islands in Japanese. And basically what it came down to is that Saipan was one of the first islands that took us within range of mainland Japan, you know, for the bomber squadrons. And of course, Iwo Jima was that much closer. And what it came down to was, if you remember the time that we did the atomic bombing of, you know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, both of those islands, both of those cities of Japan. Of course, there's no guarantee that you're playing. In fact, where is, let me just check Google Maps. I want to see something here. I want to see where Iwo Jima is, and I want to see where Saipan is with relation to Iwo. Okay, I wish I opened up Google Earth instead of this, but okay. So Iwo Jima is. Oh, I didn't know there's a North Iwo Jima. Look, there's a North Iwo Jima. Oh, what's the difference? What's over on North Iwo Jima? Anything cool? Well, anyway, let's go to regular Iwo Jima. Not a great place to be. Hard to get clean water. Now, what I always found interesting, what recently I found interesting, I didn't realize Mount Suribachi was way down here on the southern side of the island, but there's Mount Suribachi. That's the one that's famous from, you know, where they raised the big flag up there. There was 2 flag raisings. One photographed by a man named Joe Rosenthal, I believe. But these beaches were a bitch, yo. So basically, these beaches were covered in this, like, volcanic sand that at times was hard to crawl up. Like, you could barely stand in it, and every time you took a step, you would sink into it and fall back. So it was a really hard to kind of work your way up. And as we know from the movie, what's his name? General or Colonel? General Admiral? I think Admiral Kiribayashi basically had guns hidden all over the side of the mountain. I feel like we do need Google Earth for this one because it'll give us a 3D, easily 3D. But real quick, what I want to know is, with relation to Saipan, Iwo Jima to Saipan, which is actually, I think, part of Northern Mariana. Okay, cool. So there's Saipan down here, which is north of Guam. And I believe north of Saipan is, or south of Saipan is Tinian. So Tinian is, in fact, that's what I was looking for. So here's Saipan, and this is Tinian, and excuse me, and it's in the Philippine Sea apparently, or at least it says Philippine Sea. So it's L is C, but anyway, Tinian is where we launched the atomic bombs, and there's actually a pit over here. I believe they marked it over here. Japanese fuel drum storage, North Field Base. What is this? Is this it? I'm looking for the hole in the ground where they put the thing. Living quarters, ruin, fuel drum. Look, there it is, the bomb loading pit. See that? They actually put a cover over it, and they put like a replica of an atomic bomb there, I guess. And they would park the plane over this, and I think use like a winch to get the bomb into the bomb bay. But why is this all relevant? Well, basically, how it relates to the B-29s in particular is that if you're flying a B-29 from Tinian and you're trying to make your way to mainland Japan, but let's say on the way to mainland Japan, they run into a problem. Wait, I'm mixing up yet. I'm mixing up my islands here. They could have landed on Iwo Jima. Shit, I lost Iwo Jima. Well, it's somewhere up here. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. So remember, one of my mice has a broken scroll wheel. Oh, is that it? I think I found it. It says Ogasawa, but I think that's actually Iwo. No, that's not Iwo. Okay, I lost Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima. Oh, now Iwo Jima don't exist. Okay, so real quick, let's see if we can find... Oh, yeah, look, I was close. So, Northern Marianas Islands are over here. See? So, you'd have to fly from here to one of these, you know, anywhere in mainland Japan. So, of course, if the, what is it? Boxcar. I think Boxcar was the name of the plane that was doing the weather monitoring. So, they had a weather plane following, or along with the B-29 Enola Gay. Enola Gay, of course, was named after Captain John Tibbets' mother. It's a funny name, but I think the name Gay was actually pretty normal back in the day. I know in the book Forever War by Joe Haldeman, his wife's name is Mary Gay. Or, no, her name is Gay. But in the book, the character's named Mary Gay. But anyway, getting back on topic here. My point is, yeah, it's a good stopping point. So while the island itself is not really that useful to be on, it's got all this dirty sand and all of this stuff like that. You know, it's just like, it's really hard to get clean water on the island. For Imperial Japan, where they had constant chronic fuel shortages, it wouldn't be practical to run a desalination plant of any caliber, right? So that's the bottom line. That's the point. Hey, what's up? What's up, Arvis218? We better wrap up my show soon so we can send people to your show. Yo, I want at least 1 to 2 people coming from here to Aris's show. I don't care if you stay, but at least say hi. You know, have some decency, guys. Did anybody in the chat subscribe to Aris, or were you guys all just, you know, coasting along, letting him get to 500 on his own? Because I tried to send people over, but I never see you guys in the chat, and it breaks my heart. But jokes aside, I respect everyone's independence in... thank you! See, thank you, Wade. Wade, you rock. Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips did indeed subscribe to RS218. That means a lot. You probably carried the subscribership for my whole entire subscribership. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And just for that, I will squeeze in time tomorrow to put that battery in, and I will record a video using this camera. Assuming I don't break the arm by pulling it too aggressively. But jokes aside, I really do appreciate it. So bottom line is, I'm fixating on a simple thought here. But yeah, it was really important for us to have this relay point. And because it wasn't uncommon for B-29s to have engines just go out. Boeing did a great job on the B-29, but it was a bit ahead of its time. And, you know, you're going to run into weird quirks with new technology of that type. So yeah, that's why we took Iwo Jima. That's why we took so many casualties on Iwo Jima. That's why it was important to us. And at the same time, it's a factor as to why it was important to Japan to protect Iwo Jima. One, this was sacred Japanese land. This was part of their territory. In fact, I believe Iwo Jima is one of these islands that's technically a district of Tokyo. Or maybe that's Saipan. I always mix up the two. But it's like, it's obviously not part of Tokyo, but administratively, on paper, it is. Now, interestingly, after we took Iwo Jima in the 70s, we gave it back to the Japanese. And some of the veterans were not happy with that. You know, some of our veterans were not happy with that. But there are some serious travel restrictions. Like, not anybody, American or Japanese, can just travel to Iwo Jima. It's probably harder for a Japanese person to travel to Iwo Jima than us. Now, they do have a JMSDF, Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force base on there. I believe we also have an American base on there. I was under the impression we basically run the place. But either which way, I think that it was a good way for us to cement our diplomatic ties after the war. And every now and then, like I remember this guy who worked on a base in Japan. He was like sweeping floors, and one of the high-ranking officers got to know him, and he was able to get him, you know, a flight to Iwo Jima during the annual pilgrimage. Because yeah, they have an annual pilgrimage. Like every year, they if you're a U.S. Marine, you can basically go to Iwo Jima on this pilgrimage of sorts. And I don't know if they marched to Mount Suribachi, but you can see they got like a nice roadway going to Mount Suribachi, and you can tell it's a mountain. Because if it wasn't a mountain, you would not have this winding road. And then I guess the flag would be up here somewhere. Do we have any pictures of the flag? I want to see the flag. Okay, so, oh yeah, remember the movie Letters from Iwo Jima, and they show you the pixelated, you know, Japanese picture? Yeah, it's the pixelated Japan. There's a temple of sorts. There's the mountain. There's, if you remember that game I played, Beam NG Drive? Yeah, this is one of those mountains you could drive off of. I love that. Here's the, oh, there it is. That's the Rosenthal picture, the famous Joe Rosenthal picture, or whatever his name is. Apparently someone put a coffee mug there. But you got famous picture. Ira Hayes, the Native American who did it, he was one of the code talkers, was not happy when people found out he was in that picture. He had a lot of survivor's guilt, apparently. It's sad what happened to the man, but, you know, God bless him. There's a compass, a helmet, and something that looks a little rotten. But you got the U.S. Marine Corps, and I believe it was Admiral Forrestal who said that the Marine Corps would last like 1,000 years or some shit like that after they took Iwo Jima. He had some weird, like, patriotic saying. Oh, that's just fucking cool. Dog tags. I did not expect to see this stuff. It looks like we got some beads. Oh, this from the Wind Talkers or the Japanese? Or us? Or maybe those are not feathers. I thought they were feathers for a second. Oh, there's a rosary beads. Duh. I should know that. Oh, look, a beer. That's another thing. So when the Yingling? Does that say Yingling? What was funny was when Japanese people were hiding in the mountain, Mount Suribachi, and they would go out at night trying to look for food, we would American soldiers would be dropping rations all over the fucking ground. It was pretty fascinating. So anyway, let's get back on topic here. I'm sorry, I went down a rabbit hole just now, but so let's see. It's history. Censorship won't change it, despite the what totalitarian governments might think. Well, screw totalitarian governments. Ronnie, look up the reasoning for the timing of each attack and defense versus defense and the attack each side. It gets gnarly. I don't know where to begin with that, Slim Nim. If you can give me a direct reference, I'll look it up. If not, I'm gonna have to do my homework on that. But I will do my homework on that. I'm telling people that that's what the war in Ukraine is about. It's the fresh water that is at the southern end of Ukraine. Nobody wants to listen to me about it. Is it though? I mean, like, you're saying that Putin wants the fresh water from... Wait. Okay, I'll look into that too. In fairness, I will look into that. RS218 says, it's always fantastic getting with fun people who are not... Oh, wait, that's Slim Nim says that. Gaming with fun people who are knowledgeable about games. Nerds unite. Yeah, 8-Bit Japan, right? That's 8-Bit Japan, Oris. Looks like aren't you doing your show, man? Get back to your show. I don't want your customers, your chat getting, you know, a little antsy, you know what I mean? Oh, what's up, Nick? Okay, Nick came through. It's all good. Okay, now, you know, you guys can stay here if you want. We got Nick now. What's up, Nicholas? Good to see you, bud. Hi, dropping a like and a sub. Have a good one. Thank you for subscribing. It's about time. No, I'm kidding. It's really good to see you, Nicholas. But yeah, both of you, Nicholas and Oris, get back to Oris' chat right now. Go, chew. But also check out my turtle cam if you're still here. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I lost the turtle cam. Oh, there it is. Nah, it's not a big deal. Click to reconnect. There he is. Yeah, and the turtle is underwater. It's all right. They're gone. All right, let's get back on topic. You guys get back to Oris' show. And I do forget. Thanks. Bye. right later, everybody. Cool. Thanks again, Arvis, for dropping by, and have a good stream. I'll see you there in a little while. I'm going, jeez. I'm sorry, Arvis, I'm just busting your chops. And then awesome one says, I'm knowledgeable, but no nerd. I think you're partially nerd. But yeah, it's good seeing you, bud. It's really good seeing you, Arvis. Slim Nim says, need a movie review? Bridge over the... I know, I gotta see the Bridge over the River Kwai. I might have seen it. I think I saw the other movie. What's it called? Dying of the Day? Fuck, I forgot the name of it. You know the movie where they're marching to the jungle, and at the end of the movie, only 2 guys survive. And in the middle of the movie, there's a scene where somebody gets killed by a mine, and they're looking for the guy, and the guy's missing, and the guy goes, you know, he's all around us, you could say. And what he means is the guy stepped on a mine, so his guts are like all around them. And at the end of the movie, they're right in front of a US base somewhere on this like Pacific island or some shit. And maybe it was Burma, I don't know. And the guy says to the guy, you zig, I zag. I think they were Australian or English. So they run across the field, zigging and zagging like this, as the Japanese are trying to shoot them from behind, and the guys at the base are trying to provide some covering fire, but there's only so much they could do until they get right up to the fucking gate. And as they get to the gate, the guy's like fucking exhausted, and he's surrounded by the good guys now, and the Japs are not chasing him any further. The Japanese are not chasing him any further because, you know, of course, they're not trying to run up to a base that has material superiority at this point in the war. And yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie. Kelly's Heroes and The Dirty Dozen. It's not one of those movies, but those are also great movies, I hear. So yeah, everyone should check out War Chief Rumble. I didn't know War Chief Reviews has a Rumble channel. Oh, I'm already following him. Oh shit, I just unfollowed him. Okay, now I'm following. I just clicked follow again. Okay, I'm following him again. Click bell. All right, there we go. So let's get back on topic real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm easily distracted here. So what was the point of that explanation about Mount Suribachi? Oh, yeah. So the point is B-29 had a lot of technical issues early on. They improved upon it. It got more reliable. But with a plane that could carry that level of payload, there was a lot of parts that can go wrong. And so it was important to have a waypoint. And as you can see, Iwo Jima is pretty much right between the Northern Marianas Islands and mainland Japan. Therefore, a great place to stop and swap the bomb out if need be. Because they were prepared, that was part of the contingency, was to take the bomb out of the plane, put it in another B-29 if the need arose. Luckily, they did not have that issue, at least not with the main plane, not with the Enola Gay. So, yeah, just thought I'd share that with you guys there. So,
This is the blister sighting station. That is the GE Redeflector gun sight. The electrical impulses it sends to the computer... Oh, the computer is under the floor, but it figures the deflections and offsets your guns automatically. Oh, the guns. They're in a turret under the fuselage. You can't even see them.
that was a big deal because with the B-17,
Yes, Joe,
you
you're a
were
lucky
typically
man.
stationed right
Surrounded
behind
by
your
the
gun, but you were exposed to the cold air at high altitude. So, you know, you can get frostbite if you weren't wearing gloves. On a B-17, the people on that in that crew would actually wear electrically heated clothing, like it would be hooked up straight to the electrical system on the plane. So basically a brute force method of keeping the crew warm. But on a B-29, I wouldn't call it a pressurized cabin. Wait, was it a pressurized cabin? I think it was a pressurized cabin. The mask might be for back. I gotta double check that.
Equipment flying at undreamed of altitudes, and because of the pressurized chamber, you don't even have to wear an oxygen mask.
Oh, there we go.
Why, with such a setup, you should make a...
So the chamber was pressurized, but if you needed to access the bomb bay, there was a tunnel. So I remember when I went to the Air and Space Museum, there was a tunnel above the bomb bay on the B-29 so that the crew can go from the front compartment to the aft compartment on the plane. You know, so you would only need to wear a mask if you were inside of the, you know, bomb bay, let's say, doing maintenance or accessing them. I would presume that would be the case. Anyway.
Great aerial gunner.
I never should have enlisted.
What do you mean?
Why don't they just give me a gun?
Because good shooting takes more than guns, Joe. Do you want a simple demonstration?
Sure, I ain't busy.
You see, it takes this equipment to solve the complex firing problems of modern aerial combat.
Problems? Who's got problems?
Well, in the old days, the only factor that affected shooting was bullet drop, for which the gunner learned to compensate. Later, when firing from a fixed base at a moving target, another problem was added. Forward
Oh crap,
speed
I was
of
on
the
mute.
target.
I was on fucking
The gunner now had
mute.
to
I was on
estimate
fucking
lead,
mute. Shit,
or where the
shit.
target would be by the time his bullet reached it.
Bottom line is, Google AI search results said that the bomb bay was
Whenever a
not
gunner fired from a moving
pressurized.
base,
Then it said that the whole
he
fuselage
had
was
to consider the
pressurized, so it gave me a
forward
slightly
motion imparted to
contradictory
his bullet.
answers.
In air combat, the gunner had to fire from a moving platform at a moving target.
It's
This
exactly
required
the
that
same
he
kind of
estimate
crap
range and allow
we
the
would
proper
show
deflection
until
for
you
the
get into
target's
the
forward
really
speed
basic stuff
and the
that
forward
is
speed
just made
imparted to the bullet.
like from some dude's camera and
That's
in
what I
his
mean.
backyard
Just give me a
field
gun.
and
Well,
backyard
with the
field to
higher
describe
speeds of
don't
the day,
shoot
you have to
over
make
a
some
lake.
very quick decisions. Where would you aim?
Why can't you shoot over a lake?
How much lead? You see, Joe, all the gunners of history had a gun. But you, the modern
Okay, Boomer
gunner,
DJ. It's funny, awesome one.
have the remote control
Hey!
turret system.
What's up, Lady Mist?
The answer to all your firing problems in the air.
Gotta buy
Yeah,
cat food,
okay,
short
but
bike
what's all
ride.
this?
Have a great
That
bike
is a
ride
simple
at Game
mock-up
Gear
of the
Goddess.
three basic elements of the system.
Oh
See?
yeah, a sight.
Game Gear Goddess is a
foot
fellow
locker,
biker.
and the
We're
guns.
both members of the
Not a
Hell's
footlocker,
Angels.
Joe. That's the computer.
What's that for? These guys could shoot without one.
That's where you've got the jump on them, Joe. This guy had to figure bullet drop himself. This guy had to estimate lead. This guy had to allow for the forward motion
What's
of
with
the
the
bullet.
emojis?
But when the navigator sets in your altitude and airspeed,
I think someone's got an
the
inquisitive
computer
look
makes the
in the
allowance.
emojis there.
This joker had all the problems. And the computer solves all the problems.
What am I supposed to do? Sweep out the plane?
No, Joe. Your job is to tell a computer where the target is and what it is doing. And to do that, you have to operate the sight. Now let's take a simple breakdown of the sight itself.
Okay, let's.
Basically, it consists of a reticle projected on a combining glass by an optical unit. In order to move this, it is mounted on an axle with hand wheels, which sits
How
on a
many
yoke,
people have
making
you
a
whacked?
universal joint.
Who, me or the guy with the accent in the
rest is
video
simply
who sounds like
electrical
an old
equipment which
Brooklyn
tells the computer
Italian?
what you're doing.
And just what am I doing?
You're framing the target. You pick him up in your
Framing the
sight
target
and
like
keep him
O.J.
framed in the
Simpson?
reticle.
No, I'm kidding. When I was a kid, I had a lot of friends who
Every
believed
movement of
O.J.
your
was
sight
framed.
sends certain impulses into the computer, which immediately gets the necessary
After O.J.
answer.
wrote the book,
Me too.
you know, after O.J. wrote that book, If I
And
Did It, we
offset
kind of
your
knew he
gun.
did it. How many people have you whacked? Your biker gang. I've whacked quite a number of flies.
Yeah, where he is and what he's
Maybe a
doing,
couple of
moving
spiders by
platform,
accident.
deflections.
I almost ran over a
Bullet drop,
snake by
forward
accident
speed,
once, but
caught
I'm
into
glad
the
I
rabbit.
didn't. That would have been disgusting.
Hey,
Oh my god, I
this,
thought I bought some bad liquor. That's why I wear a face
I was
mask.
saying that this wheel is busted.
Oh yeah, to hide
No,
your
that's your
identity when
range
you're riding
wheel.
your bike.
By
That
turning
makes sense,
it, you
yeah.
control the size of the
It's an
reticle.
effective way to,
That's
you know,
how you
cover
tell a
yourself. I
computer
did buy
where
an
he
air
is.
filter mask,
How?
but I
It's
never
quite
wear it
simple.
because I don't really ride
On the
anywhere
front of the
too
sight is the
smoggy. But
target
if I rode in the
dimension
city
knob.
or Brooklyn more,
And
maybe
above
I
the reticle is
might
a
wear the
dial
mask.
marked off in feet
And
from
I'm not one to wear
35
masks. I'm really
150.
anti-mask. I had a
By
fake
setting
mask
this
during
dial with
COVID.
the knob,
But
you tell a
I
computer
knew a
the
guy who
size
did
of the
delivery
target.
of food
And
during
how do I know
back in
that?
like 2012.
That's why you have courses in
And
identification.
at the end of the day, his mask would always have a
Say this
grayish
plane is a
color
seat.
to them.
Wingspan 39 feet.
I'm a Japanese delinquent. That's
After
funny.
the wingspan dial is
Yes,
set,
it's true. Japanese
you
delinquents
turn the
ride
range
bikes.
wheel until
Oh,
the
that
target is
reminds me of
just
a
framed
movie
in
we
the
gotta
circle of
watch.
the dots,
Oh, we gotta do a
right to
movie
the edge
review.
of the wingtips.
The Predictions of
Now the computer
Nostradamus.
knows
It's a
how far
Japanese
away he
movie. It's
is.
hilarious.
By framing the target
We
accurately
gotta
at
see
all
that movie. We
times,
gotta do a
Yes.
watch party. I think we could do it. I think we could play it
Didn't
without
you
any
say
copyright
that if I
issue.
get
It's a
this
super low
reticle
quality
on the
movie on
target, the diffuser
archive.org.
would instantaneously offset the guns?
Precisely.
Then why
So
deal
wait.
with these things?
Oh no, guys, I
Because
got
unless
bad
you
news
set
for
in the
you.
target's size and range,
Okay, so I have a glitch.
the computer won't
There's a
give you the
glitch from my
right
YouTube.
deflection.
There's a
Give me a
glitch.
for instance.
I thought this video was
Okay.
supposed to teach us how to speak
Remember, your
Japanese.
platform is moving at a high
Did I
speed.
click on a button by accident? Wait, how do we get to this video?
Yeah, I'd better
Okay,
get
this is a more
flying, Dave, with
educational
this.
video. I'll give it that. But this is the wrong video.
Now here's your line of sight. Here's where your guns are pointing.
Well,
If
hell,
your range
we'll play a
wheel
little
is
bit
set
more
for
of
this
this.
distance, as long as you track the
I'm gonna give
target,
you guys
the
a link to
computer
this
will
video
allow
in
the
case you guys
proper
want to watch it
deflection.
on your own time,
If you
alright?
track a faster one,
Yes, all
the
of that
computer
stuff
will
was
allow
Walt
greater
Disney was
deflection
commissioned to do for the Army,
Right,
and all of the
that's
animation
my
is amazing.
point.
Warner Brothers also.
Here's
Yeah,
my
it was
point.
pretty damn good work,
Let's say-
Slim Nim, I agree.
It takes the bullet 1 second to reach a plane at this distance. Say another plane is closer to you, here, and flying at the same rate of speed. Since it will take your bullet only a half a second to reach him, the plane can only move to here. But as you see it, a plane farther away appears to move slower than a plane closer in, even though they are actually moving at the same speed. If you track the far guy, your guns will offset this much.
And that's right.
Right. But if you track the near guy, your guns will offset this much.
Which one?
Right.
I
And
saw a
that's
woman.
wrong.
I saw a woman in her
Wrong.
car alone
Why?
wearing a mask
Because your
yesterday. A
lead
young
must be decreased for
20-year-old.
the closer
Yeah,
guy,
she got to
since
watch
your
her
bullets
health.
take less time to get there.
You know, 20-year-olds have more
So
compromised
by
immune
framing the
systems
plane
than
with the range wheel,
60-year-olds.
you tell the computer
Yes,
where
all
he
this.
is,
Oh, yeah, I read that.
and it automatically decreases the offset to obtain the right deflection. In short, you just identify him.
But yes, Lady
Set your
Mist,
target
when I made the
dimension
name
dial.
of today's episode, I
Frame it
did it
accurately
with you
and
in mind. I
smoothly.
said, oh, well, the West Coast is going to be a day early, and on the East Coast it's going to be a day late. You know, it was before or after
And
midnight,
you're
I
sure
should
to hit
say.
him.
So I made a compromise. I put like
You're
the
right,
right date,
Doc.
but the
I
wrong day of the
never
week
miss.
on the name of the
Watch
show,
me.
on the thumbnail, so that
It's not that
you
easy.
can meet each other halfway.
down
So the
there.
East Coast people are covered,
What's
and
that?
you West Coast
typical enemy
inhabitants
attack on a
are
bomber.
also covered. And
Framed
apparently,
by an
according to
average
Salty
gunner
Traveling
after an hour's
Sea,
practice with a sight.
also the people
Oh,
in
an average gunner.
what's that place
Watch me
called?
try
England.
one.
Okay, get down there and
We have
take
great
that
people
average
in
gunner's
England, too.
place. Now,
We got people tuning
you're
in from
flying
around the
along here,
world here.
notice how the fighter
In my
appears
humble
to you.
opinion,
So,
we have the
Here's
greatest,
your
biggest
sight.
international audience. But personally, I think my
The
favorite
way
people
they
are from the
train
Pacific
gunners,
Rim
man.
and
and
the
here's
East
your
Coast,
projected reticle. Let's
and
see
maybe
you
the
frame
West
him.
Coast.
Yeah,
And
he's a
Texas,
dead
Texas,
duck.
yeah. I love the Texans. I love my Texan friends. I do.
Just
They have
frame
more
this,
freedom over there, so you gotta
wingtips,
love that.
Just frame. Another guy. No, I'll just this guy. I'll frame. Frame him up here.
I mean, they're propaganda, but like, well, some of them really, like the one that's propaganda. Like this is kind of like helpful, right? This is like an instructional video. They do count as propaganda,
I should
but
have framed
this is
him.
more instructional
How
Game
about a
Gear
slower
Goddess.
one?
But the video
As you
I was
wish.
gonna play now, that's propaganda. I mean,
Here
how
it
to
is.
speak Jap. That's
Wingspan
gotta be a
35
propaganda
feet.
video.
35 feet. He's a dead duck.
He's a
This
dead
time
duck. I love the way these guys
Hey,
talk.
what in the...
Hurry up, Joe. He's coming in.
Let's see now. He's coming here. Get on him. Whoop. Easy. Up there. Steady. Get over here. Now I'm on him.
Hold it, Joe. Hold it.
No, son of a... That's practically perfect.
Did you guys check
Not
out
in
what
terms of
happened
your
with the
bullets.
couple in Florida that
framing
just
too
had a
small,
cop
you
roll
told
up
the
into their
computer that
property and
the
demand
target was
ID
back
because
here,
they're
moving this
war
way.
in front of the house they are making?
Look at what would happen to your bullets.
I did
Since the
not.
computer is
What
predicting on an
war?
entirely false course,
They were
the
making a
guns
war
would be
movie?
offset to fire along here. So as long as your range wheel is set wrong, your bullets won't hit.
I'm gonna just
Now,
Google
let's continue.
exactly what Slim Nim said because I don't know how to like look that up unless I just Google verbatim what Slim said. Maybe Google will use AI to give me the correct answer. A specific incident matching the scenario you described. A Florida couple building a house in their front yard, being approached by an officer demanding ID and potentially refusing is not
getting closer,
immediately
Joe.
identifiable from the provided search result. Oh, god dang it. Okay, Google did not answer that. Florida woman
me
refused
another one.
ID,
Full
makes
speed.
demands, simple stop.
Okay, from the
There's a
beginning.
lot of these Florida people refusing to show ID, and a couple of them
Let
wearing
him
no
come.
shirt.
Frankly,
And
Joe,
one of them wearing
you know
a
what kind of
bra. It looks like
plane
he's got
that
nice
is?
Yeah,
boobs,
see?
but
No,
let me take a
Frank,
look.
Frank? Yep, thanks.
Real quick, I just want to see. We're gonna see if this
37.
lady has nice boobs. Oh, I mean, I guess, but you know, yeah, I kind of had a bad feeling that this was gonna be in a bad way. I mean, the proportions are off. You know, she got that apple shape, which I'm not judging, but usually, you know, when you know, some people like when some people they get a small T-shirt, and people go, "Honey, you're not a small," and it's like in this case, like this would be like what a gay guy might say to her, "Honey, you are not a what do you call it when you wear just the top? What is that called?" Well, like you're not a bikini top body girl. You know what I mean? Like I feel like she's someone who should know better. You know, or at least like try to balance it out. Like if she wore maybe like a T-shirt that like a crop top that went up to here, at least then you could hide the shape a little bit. You know, so the love handles would look like they're just a flat shape. Maybe, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to be judgmental. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm sure somebody loves her. But anyway, let's get back on topic. Unless this is the correct video. Florida Karen writes fake ticket during Walmart parking spot fight. That's funny. Let's get back on topic. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be body shaming people. I don't know.
He's a dead duck, yeah. Just frame his wingtip. Whoop, he's coming up fast. Turn the wheels.
If this video is the video I think is you're about to ready, it's what you're about to show. Totally not a video I talk about. Okay.
Oh, the triggers. They're mounted on the sight here. You
I
press
didn't
them
know what the
with your
triggers
thumbs.
were.
Now he tells me. Such training methods. Yeah, hold it till I frame him like I had him. There, let it go.
He missed.
I got him, of course.
No.
Got
it
him,
froze
of
up when you
course.
fired. You've got to continue framing when you are triggering. It's a matter of learning to coordinate with your hands.
Coordinate? What am I? An octopus?
You can learn it.
I gotta go back. It's funny.
Remember when
Did
you
you guys see that?
Octopus?
Coordinate with your
I
hands.
gotta pause that.
Coordinate? What am
I can't.
I? An octopus?
Oh no, I can't believe it. I'm so glad we get to pause these. Oh, you might set film on fire. You might set celluloid on fire if you try to pause a film reel back into the day. But today, with this modern technology, or even with a VCR in the 80s, you could pause it and admire the octopus.
Octopus?
You can learn it. Remember when you first learned to drive a car? Do you
What am I, an
remember trying to
octopus?
shift
Yo, we gotta
gears,
make a
throw in
meme
the
out of
clutch
that.
and
I need
steer
to
all
do
at
that.
once?
Someone, you gotta make it that when you guys call me an
Before long,
octopus
you were
in
doing
chat,
all
I
this
could like
besides
maybe
playing
put
the
on an
radio,
overlay that
tuning the
turns me into an
horn, working the
octopus for like a
spotlight,
split
and
second to
making the
creep you
motor
all
back
out. I love it. I love it. I'm in love with
Fight
this.
him, all right.
I'm
I did it all
downloading this
with
video
one
right
hand.
now. So we can make me into an octopus. Hey, why can't I download the video?
You'll master the site too.
Damn it. I'll go to...
Then you
So
can take your
apparently, if you go
rifle-
to periscopefilms.com, you can download a lot of these propaganda and training films. You know, if they're not copywritten, they do let you download them for free. So apparently, sometimes the YouTube downloader doesn't work. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. And I think some videos are like
Place in a
marked or
B-29
treated a
sighting
certain way.
station.
But I feel like I've done it before.
I'll line this thing if it takes all night.
Oh my god, he looks 100 years old. He's on a
So the
magic carpet.
B-29 gunner's ability does not involve a knowledge of ballistics or the mathematics of aerial deflection shooting. His skill is determined by his manual control of the GE red reflector gun sight.
General
He
Electric
learns to shoot with his
red
hands.
deflector, red deflector, gun
I
sight.
learned that last winter. Now look.
He's easy to defeat the people. Okay, so the video we were gonna watch, we're not gonna watch it tonight, but we're gonna do two things. The one, I'm gonna refresh this. I want to see if I can download this video. Yeah, that's weird. The video is supposed to come up. Oh, here it is. Good, I can download it now. Okay, good. So I don't have to go to periscopefilm.com. Two, the video we were supposed to watch was this one. See? Jap language useful phrases. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but we'll skim through it real quick. I just want to see if this is propaganda. At the very least,
A
it's
great many marine lives
combination of
were
propaganda
saved
and training.
on Guadalcanal, Bougainville, in the Marshall Islands and elsewhere, as a result
I
of
think Ritzy is
information
from
obtained
Bougainville.
where his plans are and where his artillery and command posts are located. Having captured a prisoner, the next task...
Now, there's a reason we had them get naked. You'll notice that these guys are like look like they're in diapers. There's a good reason, because sometimes we'd get a Japanese guy to surrender, and they'd like pull out a grenade from their armpit or some crazy shit. You know what I mean? So after like the 5th time that happens, you get a little weary and you start telling them, all right, stay right there, take off your clothes, don't come near me until your clothes are off. And it's not because we're dicks. It's just that like we lost enough people this way that we want to be damn sure that a guy really wanted to surrender. Now that said, once they surrender, they go, oh shit. Like, unlike their army, so their army, they'd send them into war back then, and the idea was like, okay, you'll go and forage for food, right? So they might give them enough food to get through a 7-day operation, but if the operation went longer than 7 days, they'd go hungry. And part of that was because the old way to do war would be like, as you're passing through a village, you might, you know, commandeer food or get villagers to share food or something like that. But of course, when you deploy 40,000 troops to like a particular area, or if you put troops in a Pacific island, good luck having them forage for food, right? Although I don't think they necessarily expected foraging to be part of the plan on the Pacific Islands. You know, kind of a mixed bag. But bottom line was, their logistics were notoriously shittier, and they basically did often provide just enough for the duration of an operation. And we do know that oftentimes military operations may run a little bit longer than the prescribed time frame. And with that said, I do want to say hello to the Cotton Ministries. We just watched a film on the General Electric Reed Deflector gun sight on the B-29 Stratofortress or Superfortress? Superfortress. And of course, that's the gun sight where it can get more than one gun to converge on the same target. So you can have one gunner, and that one gunner can command 2 guns at the same time in theory, and they would, like, you know, use a targeting computer, a mechanical computer to keep them on target. Now, that was because I accidentally did not play this video. This is how to speak
The
Jap.
next task is
That's
to
what it says,
handle him
Jap
with a minimum
language,
of risk
useful
to yourself
phrases.
and with efficiency
And it's okay.
in
I'm
order
not
to
being
get into the rear
racist. I
quickly
used to
for
think that the word
questioning.
Jap was okay,
Thus,
because
in addition to
when
the
I saw the word
individual and team
Japanimation,
training you have received,
I didn't realize
the
that
knowledge of a few
Japanimation was
Japanese
one big word.
words
I thought it was
may
Jap
prove invaluable.
animation. Oh wow, that's so cool. Look at this.
Words.
They took the man prisoner, but they're letting him smoke a cigarette. That's like kind of like a weird juxtaposition. You'd think they'd be like, fuck you, no cigarette. But they're letting him smoke a cigarette while he's being taken in prison. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be a fun time for that man if this is a real POW. Are these Japanese guys? They don't even look Japanese. Are these like propaganda film, I mean, you know, training film Japanese guys? Those are the right hats. That's a Japanese hat. I'll just keep
May
playing the
prove
video.
invaluable.
None of those guys look
In
Japanese.
this picture, we're going to learn 11 Japanese phrases, all having to do
Wait, why is he speaking British? Why is he speaking English?
do
Just in the nip of time. Or someone is.
with the capturing of prisoners. Now first, the pronunciation. Pronounce A as in father.
Actually, I can finally learn Japanese. I know Game Gear Goddess was learning Japanese and can say words like arigato, but I do want to say more words. So let's see. We got ass in father. Oh, it says as in father. It doesn't say ass in father. That'd be funny if it said ass in father. That'd be kind of funny, right? All right, let's get on track here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm stupid.
I as in machine. E as in men. O
Oh,
as in
I see,
bow,
man. E as in eh.
U as in
O as in
room.
O. U as in
When the
roo.
vowel O is marked long, you hold the sound twice as long. Say Tokyo, not Tokyo. G is always Tokyo, not Tokyo. Long.
Tokyo.
Say Tokyo,
Tokyo.
not Tokyo. G is always hard as in go, never as in ginger.
And that's why it's an animated GIF, not GIF. GIF, not GIF. Got it? And yes, Cotton Ministry's right. These are phonetics.
Divide the words
Hooked on phonetics. Works for me. 1-800-ABCDEFG.
into syllables and try not to accent any one
I'm not
word
remembering
or
this.
syllable.
Just give me more ammo. Some person. Hey, what's
First
up, some
word
person? It's good to
is
see you.
surrender.
Goes on, yo.
This is the-
Oh, wait.
The first word is surrender. This is the way the Japanese write
Not in my vocabulary. Move on.
it using our kind of lettering. This is the way it must be pronounced. Ko san seyo.
I don't care. It's not in my vocabulary, but no, just for anybody who does have a desire to surrender, that's gonna be Ko-san Seyo. Oh, I lost sound. I'm sorry.
Ko san seyo.
Ko-san
Little
Seyo.
louder.
Yeah, I tell you, the Japanese were not teaching this word to their own people. Although, granted, they would be teaching them the one on the bottom, not the one in the middle.
Please. And let's try it again. Ko san seyo.
Most dishonorable. Most dishonorable. Most dishonorable, some person. Hey! You dishonor the emperor. Whoa, 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 they got a Japanese guy. You saw that? Is he a POW? What was that? Or is he might be actually, no, all jokes aside, that Japanese man may be a Nisei, second generation Japanese American. So wait, are we telling him to surrender? I thought we were surrendering to him. This sounds like quite the linguistic mix-up here. You know, you could be telling the guy to surrender, and then they could be expecting you to surrender. He's like, I guess we were just teaching how people say "Ko-san seyo" to tell him to surrender. Okay, so I thought it was like surrender as in surrender, surrender, I surrender, but he did not prefix it with I.
Ko san seyo. That means surrender. I'm going back over these words later to see how many you remember, so keep your wits about you.
Well, some person not
Surrender.
remembering it. He already
Altogether.
said that.
Ko
Damn it,
san
my
seyo.
microphone's turning red. I hope I'm not
Now,
too
the
loud. I'm
next
sorry,
word
guys.
Is uchikata wo yame.
Oh, whoa, whoa, he's speaking dirty now. No, we will not have any of these dirty words on my channel.
That means ceasefire. Now let's all say it together. Uchikata
Why would I think that?
yame.
Because I thought they would teach us to say surrender so we could surrender to the Japanese as opposed to being killed, you know. Surrender today so you can live another day to come home to your family.
That's your opportunity signal for ceasefire. Associate that in your me. Uchikata wo yame.
Oh, that, yes, I have it in my mind in the gutter. That's why I would think of that. I'm sorry, I was mixing up words. Yes.
Associate that in your mind
I would think
with
Uchikata wo yame. Did I say it right? Uchikata o yame. Uchikata, wait. The wo doesn't make a O sound. It just says, oh, okay. Uchikata, because I thought Uchikata was like, yo, uchi, ooh. Like, you know, like watch those like movies where the Japanese girl is like getting like, you know, and she's like, oh, you know, like I thought it was like that type of uchi.
Uchikata wo
See, he's even doing a hand
yame.
symbol. Uchi, kata, uchi, uchi. You know, like it sounds dirty, yeah.
This may be the last picture he'll ever see.
A training film on how to surrender. Oh, yes. I know. Well, I thought it was gonna be more like how to say a number of phrases. How to surrender. How to say, put your hands up. How to say, name, rank, and serial number. I don't know. But I guess it makes more sense to tell your opponent to surrender instead. And plus, it's quite a bit more merciful to tell them to surrender.
Say
Bukaki.
it with me. Buki wo stero.
Buki wo Sotero. Oh, Obama's last name, Barry Sotero. Yes. Drop your weapons. Buki wo Sotero. Buki wo Sotero. Say it together, everyone. Buki. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's keep
Say
going.
it with me again. Buki
wo Sotero.
Oh, you can do better than that. Let's hear it. And get it right this time.
I got it right the first time, asshole.
Buki wo stero.
Oh, okay, I didn't get it
Drop
right.
your weapons. Next phrase.
Maybe I did. Te,
Teo agero.
teo,
Hands
teo,
up.
teo, agero. Hands up. Put your
You think you've
hands
got
up.
that now?
Baby,
Let me hear
baby,
you
give
yell
me
it.
your
Put up
heart.
your hands
You know
at the
this
same
song?
time.
They used to play at every block party. How do you say, here's my gun?
Okay. Next phrase.
Yeah, that would be a proper How to Surrender film. How to say, here's your gun. Here's my gun. Talking back to your superior. Do 5 push-ups. 50.
We won't murder you.
Drop and give me 50.
Korosanayo.
Korosanei.
Won't murder you.
We won't murder.
That means-
See, that actually was an important one. Like, because the amount of people who jumped off the suicide cliffs. I'm going to go pull up the suicide cliffs on Saipan while we play this.
Means we won't do any killing if they surrender. Now let's have a little contest. The men on this side yell it loud. Korosanayo. Now the men on this side. Korosanayo.
What's that? We got two. Wait, we got 2 audiences. Now the men on this side. Say it louder, everyone. It's like running a block party. Okay, so we're gonna put this in a pop-out window while I pull up Google Maps. I lost Google Maps. Where's Google Maps? Here it is. Google Earth. Okay. So we went and pulled up the Northern Marianas Island chain, in particular the island of Saipan. So we'll continue to play some of our Japanese language lessons here in the corner somewhere. Where should we put it on? Up left corner, I guess, or upper right? We'll put it over here.
Good.
So what I want to show
Now
you guys
we've
is the
covered
suicide
5
clips.
words. That wasn't bad, was it? Practice will give you confidence, and your prisoners will obey orders quickly. For example, here's a way to remember. What's the command for drop your weapons?
Here it is. See, look, it says right there. Suicide
That's
cliff.
what you remembered.
See? Suicide cliff. So we're going to analyze the topography. A bonsai cliff. They always call them bonsai cliffs.
Stero. Try it again.
See, Bonsai Cliff Memorial. And this is why we had to teach our soldiers that we will not murder you. Because when we got to this island, the amount of, and you can see documentary footage where people are jumping
That's
off, and
better.
we actually had some of our own Nisei soldiers brought in. But even before that, we had our own, we had Japanese people who surrendered to us, Japanese soldiers, and they would get, onto the Jeep with the loudspeaker on it, the PA system, and basically try to tell their people, don't jump off the cliff. It's cool. The Americans treat us way better than our own military. We got a hot shower, hot meal. It's fine. And, so that's why we're teaching our soldiers how to tell Japanese people to drop your weapons and we will not murder you, because that's kind of like, hopefully how
No
you
wonder
prevent
it's better.
people, especially
Now
civilians.
try it.
Look, you can see there's a road that goes right up to it now. I think that's part of the memorial. I don't think the road went up there at the
Your
time.
pronunciation could be
Although
improved.
they quickly built the road going there to, assemble soldiers at different points to be able to tell people don't jump.
Hands up. What's the word?
And you see the last Japanese command post up there. Korean Peace
Not
Memorial.
bad.
I think that's because they had
Not good.
Korean soldiers deployed
It's
there.
Teo agero. Teo agero. Practice these words among yourselves. Check and double check each other. Get these Japanese words down pat. It takes time, it takes trouble, but it also takes prisoners. All right.
Oh, look, we got Google Street View on the
Here's one
suicide
you
cliffs.
like. It means
Yes!
spit. Might come in handy sometime. It's
Oh, they got a guardrail up. How the fuck am I supposed to reenact jumping if they got a guardrail? Look at this bullshit. We're so soft these days. I'd be the first one to jump over this railing and walk through the shrubs over here. I mean, like, I want the real World War II experience, damn it. He's a Nisei. I think that's an American soldier right there. He might even be part of the 100th Infantry Brigade. One of these days, we really need to talk about the 100th Infantry Brigade, also known as the 422nd Regimental Combat Team, or Regimental Combat Brigade. I always mix up those terms. But the 422nd was the Go for Broke Brigade, because they were known for going for broke. Like, they were not pussies, okay? These were second-generation Japanese Americans who kicked ass in Europe. Some of them did go to Saipan to help out with the translation and all of that stuff. But, like, basically, some of them came from many of them came from the internment camps, signed their loyalty pledges. Others refused, saying, I'm already a loyal American. I don't need to sign a goddamn pledge to prove it. But they served with distinction. They were probably, I think they were literally the most decorated, if what I heard is true, they were the most decorated unit in U.S. history. If you could believe that. And to think that they were like, look, see, like, how am I supposed to jump off this cliff? How am I supposed to jump? How am I supposed to reenact history, damn it? Okay, let's get back on topic. I apologize, guys. This is a great feature, by the way. Mozilla Firefox has a feature called pop-out videos. You make a video into a floating window, so you can, like, you know, basically just liberate it from the window and have it float anywhere on any of your 3 screens like I do. You know, I got 3 screens, right? Look, see, 3 screens. I'm in the Matrix. I can put it here. I can be like, oh, I can put it over there. Or if it's porn, I can put one here, and one over here. Okay, jokes aside, I lost it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, crap. Ah, crap. Okay, let's get back on topic here. All right. Almost done, kids.
Come out.
Finally found a piece. So good. Slimnim, we're going to switch to a video in a minute. I am very curious about that video. So that's a good question. Hey, Peter Venkman fan site. I saw you. I thought about saying hi to you. I just forgot to say hi to you verbally. The Peter Venkman fan site. It is wonderful to see you tonight. Thank you very much for dropping in. Konye so. Oh, wait. Dete Kohi. Come out. Dete Kohi. The Peter Venkman fan site. I don't know why I'm telling her to come out. You already came out. You came out in the chat just now. You said, hey, I need to come out. I just did. I came out and said hi to you. Hopefully one before the other. It's to stop Japanese ghosts from pushing you over. Ah, yeah, a lot of angry ghosts over there. If you don't get to jump over the railing because you don't know how much of the landmines have actually... I think all of the landmines were cleared. I mean, come on, it's a little Pacific Island. What are the odds? If you step on a landmine, it probably won't work anyway. I'm willing to try it out, man. I'm willing to lose a foot. I would love to have a story like that. Lost a foot to a World War II Japanese landmine. I would, like, show that stump with pride, man. But also, you know, if you step on a tank mine, it might not blow up. You got to be very heavy to step on a tank mine and blow it up. But in all seriousness, so I go with a metal detector. So that's what you're saying is I need to bring a metal detector. Got it.
Forward march. That's easy, isn't it?
Suzume? Forward march. Suzume!
Forward march.
I'm sorry, I'm just imitating people marching. Tamare! Halt! Sorry, that's very loud.
Tomare, as you have
Tamare!
seen, means halt.
Tamare! Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective have arrived.
Let's try it again.
He had a great show today. I loved watching his guinea pig inside a CRT television talking. He had a talking guinea pig in a CRT television with a deep voice that sounded a bit like Worf and a bit like Tommy. And it's the cutest thing to have talking guinea pigs. Like he really puts those animals to work. Like me, I just got turtles in a tank right here. And we're getting there, but as you see, I can't even get the turtle cam to switch between night mode and day mode automatically. I can get it to switch to night mode automatically. I can't seem to get it to switch into daytime mode automatically. Kosan, yeah, Kosan Seyo. Surrender.
Kosan Seyo.
Just use PD to minesweep. You have to a brain backup. Yo, we should put a metal detector on PD and put the headphones inside his head box, so when he walks around, he'd be like, doop, you know. Donnie gets over the fence and makes one step forward like a cartoon, screaming like a girl. I would probably, I wouldn't scream like a girl. I would probably scream like a girl. Here's what happened. I go over the fence, trip over like a piece of weed or tumbleweed or something, and then like nearly fall down the hill, grab onto a slippery rock, and as I'm doing the yabba dabba do thing with my hands, then I would scream like a girl. And I would end up finding out that I was not in any real danger, but for like a minute there, I would think I was in such danger, I would be screaming in great, you know, yeah, just like a high-pitched scream, exactly. You have a pretty high-pitched scream. How do you know? Did you hear me scream? Did I scream already? Did I scream? I might have screamed already. I don't remember screaming on stream, but I might have done it.
All together.
Towe agora, te o, te wa, Susume, forward march. Hands up.
Forward march. Halt.
Tamare, halt.
Strip.
Strip. Ooh, okay, we got guys. Okay, boys, get this one in your vocabulary because we're gonna need it when we go on our trips to Japan. Hadaka ni nare. Damn, that's a long way to say strip. How many words? How the hell? That's not a one-to-one translation at all, is it? Hadaka ni nare. Hadaka ni kare. Hadaka ni nare. I want to know this when I go to Japan. Yeah, you were watching a video with an axe accident. Oh yeah, well that explains it. That would be a good reason to scream like a girl, wouldn't it? Soda Yugi.
Hadaka ni nare.
Hadaka ni nare. Ah, damn, I said it backwards.
Hadaka ni nare.
Hadaka ni nare. It's a little bit of a tongue twister there.
Da ma re.
Did that say shut up?
The knowledge of these few Japanese words and phrases.
Damare. See, like that one you could use too. Damare. Sounds lovely, but it's actually shut up.
The knowledge of these few Japanese words and phrases may someday save your lives and the lives of others.
How is shut up gonna save your life? That might get your ass kicked.
Learn them well.
Okay, I guess it depends.
Words too are weapons.
So just in case of an emergency, I know I said surrender is not in my vocabulary, but just in case, how do I say I before surrender in Japanese? You know, I want to cover my bases. I know how to tell them to surrender, but just in case I'm on the losing side of a particular battle and I have no choice, I'd like to know how to say I surrender. Just, you know, so I could like potentially go to a camp and then come back home after the war is over. You know what I mean? I scream like a girl on the upside down 360 pirate ship ride. That's funny. Awesome one. And I appreciate it. Okay, so we got to go play one more video. Nope. Ronnie's got a pro like me trying to be there to help him out. Ronnie's got a pro. What pro? What do I have? What pro? What pro do I have like you? I mean, it's true. Whatever you're saying is true. I just don't know what you mean. But I believe in it. I believe in it, Slim Nim. Alright, let's roll. Soda Yugi. So apparently I'm Peter Venkman fan is saying something about soda and Yu-Gi-Oh! This is not at all a Florida woman. By the way, we showed a video of a Florida woman before, Peter Venkman fan site. We commented. Well, I commented. Nobody else commented. I commented on her you know, her attire. You see, she's got a very smooth belly button, by the way. I'm sorry. I can't kill myself. I can't. A muffin. Next time you're at the ramen shop, just shout out Damare for fun. Oh shit. Oh shit. Shit. I left some candy sushi downstairs. Oh. I gotta get my candy sushi. I really want to try my candy sushi. Here's how you surrender non-verbally. Face away from them and take your pants off and bend over. Yes, but that might also be, depending in Japan, I don't think Japanese men would sodomize a man. They might rape your women, but they're not gonna sodomize other men. I just don't think Japanese men would do it. But they might stick a bayonet in your butt. So I would not bend over in front of an Imperial Japanese soldier. I mean, I love Japan, just saying, but during that era, during that war, yeah, I would not take that chance. Hell, some of them might have been meaning to be nice to you, but now that you're bending over, they might just say, fuck you, and write you off. All right, let's go. What is this, Slim Im? We'll find out. Let's find out what it is. He's got a driver. It's a comedy show. Funniest thing down here in Florida is watching everyone wear Arctic gear when the temp is 60, when it hits 60.
How many,
Wow.
please? Well, I don't know.
Well, we've still got 73 miles to go.
Yes, that's if we stick on the main highway. Say,
Oh, is
mister,
that-
is this the only way to get to Palm Springs?
Oh, no. There are several ways. I would suggest that from here, you head straight for Saturn, turn right to Mars, make a left to Jupiter, then head for the moon, and then...
Hey, wait a minute. Mars, Jupiter, the moon?
Yeah. Ain't this a rocket ship?
Just put in some gas, will you?
Ethyl or regular?
Regular.
Ethyl. Better make it ethyl.
Look, Rochester, the last time we came through here, we went pretty fast. What did we use then?
Nothing. We'd lock bumpers with a Greyhound bus.
What the hell's going on? Uranus is a real town. But I like the way the Japs say Uranus.
Wait a minute. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I thought you had a windshield.
Well, here, let me wipe the bugs off your glasses.
Look, never mind.
It looks like a windshield with the video
Well, have you
compression.
made up your mind whether you want regular or ethyl?
Regular.
Okay.
He should have listened to the driver. I think the
Watermelon's
driver
fine.
knows what kind
All
of
right,
fuel
wrong
they
hook
need.
is up. Check my battery. Okay.
Looks okay to me.
How many?
I'll tell you when to stop. Let me know how many you're putting in.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
What happened to the bells?
What do you want, gas or music?
How much do I owe you?
Let's see, 10 gallons, that'll be $2.80.
280. Here, wait a minute. There.
Thank you. And the next time you pass this gas station, please do.
All right, wise guy. Come on, Rochester, start the car.
Yes.
Next time you pass the gas station, please do. I watched the Model T driven in modern times. It overheated a lot and top speed 45. So, see, he could have listened to the driver. That's what happens when you put regular in a car that is supposed to run on everyone. That poor bird is going to die of stress. No, I saw the coolest thing on, speaking of birds. I was looking at, like, what was it, Leon's stream last week, and he had a thumbnail with
Rochester,
Hondo on
start
his
it again,
shoulder,
Yes.
but with a angel's halo on his head. I thought it was, I don't know if that was someone's art or AI generated, but it was a beautiful picture. He's gonna plug at his engine. Oh my god, the bird's gonna say some shit like,
Well, what are you staring at? This car will get us there. You've heard of the story of the tortoise and the hare, haven't you?
No, but if you're going to tell it, keep your voice down. My wife is in the office.
Not that kind of a story.
remember to
on,
look up,
Roger.
oh, is it Stevie Wonder?
Say, Bud, which way to Palm Springs?
The Palm Springs? Well, you...
Oh, apparently it's
just
Mel
follow
Blanc. Oh, Jack Benny. Jack Benny's in here. What does that have to do with anything anyway? I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, it's calm now.
Okay, so what did I miss? That was very interesting, old school. I'm not sure if that was related to what we were talking about before. I think we were talking about Stevie Wonder or something like that. Or Ray Charles. I forgot which musician we were talking about. We were talking about a musician before, weren't we? But that man, I believe Mel Blanc was the white dude, and the black dude was Jack Benny, the driver. And they're both very good, but I don't know who either of them are, although I am more familiar with Jack Benny's name. on the surface. I know who he is. Well, yeah, for $2.80, you can get 10 gallons of fuel in this, which actually sounds pretty pricey for back then too. But like that's like $30. Well, actually, we could do the math on that. So, what is that? 1940s, 1950s? Say, let's say you do the silver price back then. Let's see. I don't want to do the math right now, but usually what I do is I get the silver price for that time, and I convert it to like the modern weight of silver, and then I get the numbers then. That's usually how I do a rough inflation adjustment. Mel Blanc is pretty much 90% of the Warner Brothers cartoon. Oh, I see now. I see where you're going here. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Came through here, we went pretty fast. What do we use then?
Yeah, okay. I see it now. I see it now.
Well, what are you staring at? This car will get us there.
He kind of has that Mel Blanc. The guy from the Bomber video. I don't know if that was Mel Blanc. I got to look at the credits on that video. But anyway, we're going to go tune into Arvis, and I'm going to wrap up my stream right now. So, to that end, before I send you guys away, before I go to the lavatory, before I take care of some business, we're going to go ahead and mute the desktop audio. I'm going to switch to my main camera, and I'm going to say farewell. Does anybody want a picture of the lady from this video here? Let me know. And then, you know, I do want to thank Awesome One, and ciao now, and ciao later. You know when people say bye now? Does anybody ever say bye later? Fabulous show tonight, DJ Ronnie G. Oh, wife, thank you, Lady Mist. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Not bad for slapping together something in the last minute, huh? But yeah, I do want to thank Lady Mist. Awesome One. They also was animated as mice before. They were also animated as mice before. Oh, that's so cute. Hey, look, it's a Final Fantasy game. Anyway, getting back on topic here. I do want to thank Tommy and the Guinea Pig. I'm not speaking English. I want to thank Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Slim Nim, thank you for the video and thank you for being here. The Peter Venkman fan site. Soon, one of these days, we will have a Peter Venkman fan site, and then maybe we'll link it to an OnlyFans site just for kicks. I mean, it'll be my turtles running the site, but it'll still be fun. I do want to thank some person. It was delightful seeing you. Here's how you surrender non-verbally. Oh yeah, we said that. And it involves bending over. And apparently I did scream like a girl when we watched a video of an axe accident. I thought it was a mulcher accident. I thought someone stuck their head in a mulcher. It was one of those. So let's keep rolling here. I also want to thank the Cotton Ministries for dropping by. It was great to see you. Oh, yeah. So we did do the street view. I didn't even see your message before, Cotton Ministries, but I'm glad we did do the street view before. Whether or not I read your message subliminally, maybe I saw it in my subconscious. I hope I looked at the street view in the right map. It was quite delightful, wasn't it? Or was that the island of Tinian? Well, I'm pretty sure we were looking at the correct island. Thousands of bodies on that island. That is correct. Awesome One. So from there, in addition to that, once again, thank you, Your Eminence, the Cotton Ministries. It's always good to see you drop in. We also had Game Gear Goddess. She came by. I didn't even deposit 6 AA batteries, AA batteries, and Game Gear Goddess still showed up. So it was really nice to see her. We also saw LCX, who's going to be doing a really special stream tomorrow. A rumor has it LCX is going to have a very special stream tomorrow, so you might want to check that out. But beyond that, we also had Real Wade Nation, Real Wade Gaming Nation here. So this is Elle's link for tomorrow morning if you guys want to tune into her special stream. It's at noon my time. Wade's birthday is on the 22nd, by the way. I do also want to thank Fabric Folds. And yes, unfortunately, I didn't watch the correct racist video. Well, actually, the video wasn't racist at all. So the Japanese language video, Fabric Folds says it's going to be racist as fuck, and I'm here for it. And he's laughing. And actually, that video was not at all racist. The only thing racist about the video was the fact that it was titled Jap language words. Like, that was the only racist part, right? So it's kind of funny how that goes. I want to thank James for being here. James, thank you for your patience. He came here. He saw me setting up the chat. He saw me taking my time, dragging my heels, and he tolerated it. So I thank him. It was great seeing the lovely Sherry. Always lovely to see the lovely Sherry. It was also lovely to see it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddball. She's got a great, she's cool. She's always good to see around. She's got a cool channel too, but it's always wonderful seeing Courtney. And I think we got everyone. So I can finally wrap it up just like the You know, when they say on a TV set, it's a wrap. So, it's a wrap. And so, I hereby conclude this stream as soon as I give my typical sign-off phrase, which is, for anybody watching on the replay, if you have any questions, comments, ideas, or concerns, please leave a comment. And for now, we shall hereby end transmission on my mark.